Morning, everyone, and welcome and thank you for joining today's Take30. The focus of today's Take30 is going to be Cognos Analytics 11.1.7, which was released on Friday. And we have a special guest, Rachel Sue, is going to take us through the new features, and certainly we're going to have a Q&A session at the end. Today's session is going to be a little bit longer. Probably 45 minutes to allow for us to walk through all the features and then have some healthy Q&A at the end. So Rachel, why don't you jump ahead one slide? All right, so just a reminder of, so we've changed the format a bit. So what we're having is on Thursdays at 10 a.m. we're rotating between BI, data science, and Ask a Data Expert. And then on Tuesdays, we have a new series, and that is on the Modern Analytics Framework. Now, we've had 2 sessions thus far for the Modern Analytics Framework. If you want to join up with that, certainly register for that on our registration page. And we've got recordings of the first 2 sessions, so you can watch those to catch up. In terms of the Thursday topics, next week is an industry focus on insurance, and then after that, we're going to talk about Cognos and AWS integration points, and then finally, best practices for moving analytics to the cloud. All right, so go ahead, Rachel.
Thank you very much. And at any given time, if you're not seeing my screen anymore or not hearing me, just feel free to interrupt and let me know. Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Sue. I'm a Senior Offering Manager for Cognos Analytics. I'm very excited and happy to be able to present the newest update to Cognos Analytics, which is 11.1.7. I'm going to not spend too much time introducing myself. Instead, I'm going to jump right into the presentation because this is such a feature-packed release. This is going to be our long-term support release as well. It's going to be the last release of 11.1 stream. Okay, I'm going to try my best to fit all the content within half an hour and then leave some time for Q&A in the end. Today's presentation, I plan to combine slides, videos, as well as live demos. So I'm going to be flip back and forth a little bit. First of all, Cognos Analytics, it is a complete BI and analytics offering. We are the solution where what we call all the answers you need in one place. Cognos Analytics has data preparation, data analytics, and we have a technology integration that allows you to infuse analytics into your business processes and allow you to create interactive dashboards and enterprise reporting. AI is also our focus area. It's our investment area. We want to infuse AI in your workflows, in your business processes. We want to infuse AI through the entire offering into all areas. So let's first take a look at data preparation. Prior to 11.1.7, we have included 2 sample calendars that allow you to easily bring into your data module to create relative time zone. And they are Gregorian and physical calendars. Our retailer friends who would really need this type of 454 retail calendar will be happy to know that this is also going to be included as part of the sample in 11.1.7. A 454 calendar divides a year into 4 quarters of 13 weeks, grouped into 2 4-week months and 1 5-week month. I hope I got all that details right. If you're in the retail industry, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We also have all these out-of-the-box relative time, relative date filters provided, and we've added 5 more based on the customer feedback. So now together, total, we have 23 filters that can be used for all 3 types of sample calendars that we ship. We've also made the connection to Salesforce data server easier. Now the connection is available directly through the new UI under Managed and Data Source Server Connections interface. This allows you to bypass FM packages without having to go through the legacy UI, and you can use the Salesforce tables directly in the data module. This is also making it more cloud friendly. customers often ask us, when should I use Framework Manager? When should I use data modules? Now, we've published a article, and it's part of our documentation to list all the gaps that data modules have comparing to Framework Manager. We're also in the process of working out more through a more detailed documentation best practices around how to, when to use data module as as well as Framework Manager. So for now, please take a look at, this is part of our documentation in terms of guidance of when do you use data module, when do you use a Framework Manager. So next, let's take a look at our Explore and Analyze section. We start with mobile. This is not new to a lot of customers that we've been working on a new mobile app. But let's first look at our mobile platforms. The new mobile app is not really the first time we've done anything mobile. In fact, the entire platform, the web UI, because Cognos Analytics is web-based, we have specifically designed and implemented Cognos Analytics to be mobile-friendly, except report authoring, because that is too advanced. It is difficult to author on a mobile device. But the portal navigation, consuming reports, consuming dashboards, even data module, you'll be able to do that on a mobile phone or a tablet mostly. We also have an existing reporting mobile app. It supports the saved report output as well as rendering active reports, and that is still being supported. It's still available. This new mobile app that came out with 11.1.7, it's focused on data. So let's go ahead and start with a quick video demo of this mobile app. It's hard to do a live demo on this one. So once you have the app downloaded, first time you need to connect to the Cognos server. You could do so by manually entering the Cognos server URL, or you can scan QR code from your computer, right? And this is a one-time setup only. You only have to do this once, the first time. There's a secondary verification of that code. Once you've entered it, now you're ready to go. You can browse all your boards. So that's a new concept. Pin boards are something that allows you to have a collection of visualizations that you like and organize them into different selections of boards. You can also browse My Content and Team Contents through this app directly and find a dashboard that's already previously authored. So this app is focusing on data. It's not really so much focusing on layout. That's why you're going to see all your dashboards, including different tabs, will appear as individual visualizations without its original layout. Right? You can tap onto the visualization that you like and then pin it. So this is our feature of using pinning. Pinning, they are same but not. Pin boards are improvements based on the existing pinning feature. The existing pinned feature only allow you to pin things for yourself, whereas the newly improved pin boards allow you to organize them better, and as well as sharing pin boards. So you could be an analyst, create a pin boards and share it with your executives to monitor. They only need to look at a subset of information. You also have access to our AI assistant directly within the app. You can type or through voice input, like this demo is showing you. The AI assistant will respond, will answer your question with a visualization. And this is not reuse visualizations or content that's previously created. This is content creation on the fly, right? So you're essentially using natural language to start a question and use that as a way to create content, create a visualization where you could pin the visualization as well into your pin board. Imagine if you're in a meeting and someone's doing a presentation and you didn't have everything in front of you that's available. You could get your answer real time on the spot, anywhere you are. Our visualizations are responsive. So you can see that when you're tilting your phone, rotating your phone, you can have the visualization re-render, give you the best visual presentation as it can be. You can tap on the visualizations to get detailed information through tooltips. Okay? You can also set alerts on these visualizations based on thresholds. If, let's say, if sales in a specific region has dropped by 3%, you will get a notification sent directly to your phone through the native notification, right? It's through a native OS notification. So that's a quick look at the mobile app. The first release of the mobile app will be available for cloud only. And right now it's available for iPhone. However, Android is coming very shortly. We are almost there, right? And the support for mobile app on premises is being worked on, and then it should be out sometimes later this year. The next section, let's take a look at Create. First one, let's talk about reporting. I'm going to flip into the live demo part. And please interrupt me if you're not able to see my screen. All right, first of all, you can see there's something a bit different. In 11.1.7, we have implemented a new Carbon 10 theme. So what is that? So Carbon theme, this is based on IBM Carbon Design System.
Excuse me, Rachel, we're not seeing your demo screen.
Okay, good. Thanks for letting me know. Let me see if it means I need to exit. Can you see it now?
No, we just say, hello, welcome to IBM Cognos Analytics.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to show.
Okay, good.
Okay. No, we're good then. Yep, so this is Cognos Analytics home screen, what you're seeing. We have changed the theme, the default theme for all the new installations, right? This is based on IBM Carbon Design System. You see the fonts are sharper, the images, icons have been updated. For existing customers, when you upgrade, your interface won't change. The theme won't be applied. This is for new installations. And your existing theme, the older theme that we supply would be known as the IBM Classic theme. Will be available for you to choose when you're trying to change themes for the environment. So let's quickly start with reporting. And the first one I want to show is visualization baseline. And Debbie, make sure you interrupt me if you don't see I just flipped something. Okay?
You did. Looks great.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So visualization baseline allows report authors to put annotations using baselines, indicate specific event has happened or indicating a key indicator of your data. So here are a couple examples that I've created. The top one using a bar chart that has two types of baseline. The first one is using a percentage baseline on the y-axis, and the bottom one here, the dash one, is using a numeric baseline. And at the bottom, you can see you report authors can also create vertical or what we call categorical index baselines. And you can style baselines in many different ways. Just give you a quick look. What's available is that you can style baseline, the line styles. You can change the color, change transparency level, change your line weight. You can also have custom options, labels defined, and then choose how you want them to appear. These are important to really explain the visualization, explain the baselines, because it will appear as part of the legend at the top, as well as when you output this into PDF for Excel, they will be part of that output as well. We support baselines pretty much on all visualizations that support axes. In my blog posting, I've listed all the visualizations that support it. The list is pretty long. Combination chart is not new to our customers or to us. However, in the past, prior to 11.1.7, our combination chart was somewhat limited. So we really improved this. Now we allow you to author the column or bar versus line separately. You can use different data for the measures as well as for the column color or line color series. Right? You can flip between line and column to define data separately. You can also have separate palettes defined for each chart type. You can also decide what you want to show as the line style, right? Linear, smooth, stepped, for example. You can also change this to show as column chart or bar chart. You can also decide if you want a stacked or clustered bar or column. There's so many different combinations that you can have. I think you can have 6 different combinations for this new combination chart. So now we truly have a very useful combination chart in the product. It sounds small, but it's important. Next up, similar but not the same, waterfall chart. We have always had waterfall chart in the product, but based on talking to a lot of customers who use waterfall chart in their reports, we realized there are limitations. And interestingly, all the customers I've talked to, they're using their waterfall charts very differently. So what we've done is we have added a subcategory authoring slot in our waterfall chart that allow you to aggregate data at a different level. And through many more properties we've added, you can define, do you want to show the subcategory values as actual values, or do you want to have us automatically calculate the variance to change, right? I think some people call this a bridge mode. There's so many different terms in different regions, different industries will call it differently. And you can customize the color for almost everything. You can define what the increased color would be, decreased color would be, what the total would be. You can define what the first bar color would be. And in this example, I've also omitted 0 regions because most of the cases, for a waterfall chart, you want the space, you want people to focus on the actual bar, the top area, which is where measures could change. If we show 0, there will be too much of a gap at the bottom. There are many new properties added. I'm not going to go through all of them, so I encourage you to go play with it. This is a very good enhancement. We have more visualization enhancement. I'll show a couple more in the slides, but let me flip to something called dataset. So dataset is our technology, our strategy for extract and cache data. Your data will be cached on the report on the Cognos server for you to allow you to do quick query accessing using your reports or dashboards or stories. So the dataset editor was designed to be just a simple interface, allow you to create a flat table. You can extract your OLAP dimensional data source into flat tables. You can go against your relational database, whatever you want. However, people who understand the product know this is really a simplified UI based on reporting interface. And people are disappointed that they don't get to do further query manipulations like what reporting allows. So what we've done in this release is added the ability for you to access the queries view. So now you can create more queries, you can create query joins, you can create query references, you can have custom SQL, and you can also access properties on these queries to do further customization, right? And you can define filters instead of a query. So if I'm clicking into it, you have access to all these query operations now instead of dataset. And not only that, we have brought the ability for you to reuse a report. So you can copy over a report spec from another report in here to reuse the query logic that you've already done instead of another report, so you don't have to redo it. Could copy paste queries individually from another report if you want to combine queries from different reports, or if you use the copy paste from clipboard, it will bring an entire report over to reuse that. You can see generated SQL as well, validate a report. There's a lot of things you can do now in this improved dataset editor. Right. So I think this is going to make a huge impact for a lot of customers who do use datasets. Next, let me flip back to the slides to make sure I covered I'm going to quickly skip the slides that I did a live demo with. And here are a couple more things around visualizations in reporting. We've added 3 more display modes to our tree map visualization. We've added label orientation. We've added property support, logarithmic scaling. We've also enabled more visualizations to support measure groups, which is to compare multiple measures in the visualization. 11.1.6, we only supported bar and column, but in this release, we've opened it up to pretty much all visualizations that make sense. We examined all of them. And another interesting feature that we've put in is to the ability to disable on-demand toolbar. So on-demand toolbar is available when you flip the report property called run with full interactivity to yes. You will see a on-demand toolbar. Some people want to keep their report output completely static. So now you'll be able to hide that per row or per user group base or per report. So there's that flexibility for you. Some other important improvements we brought into reporting is to be able to run a single report page directly in the report interface. This was available in Cognos 10, but then it hasn't been reintroduced until now. And we've added the ability to deselect all in the filter column dropdown for the new data table we introduced in 11.1.6. So let's next move on to dashboards. So this is a dashboard. I'm just flipping back into the live demo now. And on the left-hand side, you can see we've added drop zones directly on the visualization, where you can, from the metadata tree, and drag and drop directly onto the visualization as one way to author them. You can also, as you always, you can also do a type in on the right-hand side in the fields. Let's say when you type in, we'll give you we'll filter the list down to show you what's available. And so there are multiple ways of authoring visualizations now in dashboards. And I think this gives great flexibility and ease of use to dashboard authors. On the right-hand side, this is not our standard Mapbox integration maps. This is actually done through a schematics map. Schematics is it's using SVG as the visualization base, and usually this has some location information, but not the standard geographic locations. We supported this in Cognos reporting for a couple of releases now. Now in 11.1.7, you'll be able to use this in the dashboard as well. And the bottom right is our crosstab. What's interesting here is we've done improvements for defined conditional colors. So I'm going to flip to the properties on the right-hand side. You can see you can define colors based on different measures. Revenue has conditional color defined. If I'm clicking into it, you can see there are rules that's defined, and you can add more rules, which is more conditions, whatever you want to say. Or, for example, quantity sold, I can easily add a rule. You can color by quantity sold. It could be numeric or percentage, and then you can define a rule saying, let's say if it's greater than 1,000, then you want to have an indicator arrow up. You can change the indicator to happy face if you want, and change the colors, fill colors, text colors. So a lot of things you can do, and you can add more rules. So this is very much a lot easier now to use for anyone who wants to do further customization of the dashboard conditional colors for crosstab. Let me flip back to the slides. I've done through these. Okay, so when you create a visualization, now we can automatically give you smart titles of the visualization. You don't have to manually enter it, but you can still define custom titles or say no titles for visualization. We now support export visualization to CSV. So when you look at data behind a visualization from the data tray, a lot of customers want to output that data into CSV or Excel. So now you can do that directly on the data tray. This is visualization specific. Dashboard, similar to reporting, have added a lot more control on visualizations through properties. For example, define axis range, logarithmic scaling, label enhancements. You can also define model filters directly within dashboard on the metadata tree. Similarly, how you would have prior to 11.1.7, you have to do it in the data module. We've done bullet chart enhancement, so you can define the range in dashboard. This was already available in reports. You can also see generated SQL of a visualization on dashboard. It helps you to troubleshoot if needed to understand how the SQL is being generated and processed. We always ship with the product with a lot of templates for a dashboard. Now you can actually save a dashboard as a template. Helps you to standardize templates for your own organization to use. Well, let's look at our infused section. I'm really running behind. I may talk really fast. Okay. So we have integration with Watson Studio on cloud now. This will allow data scientists on Watson Studio to script in Python and R directly against Cognos governed data, and to be able to leverage Watson services like machine learning, SPSS modeler, Auto AI, and much more to analyze data and to push the results set back into Cognos to operationalize. We've also made it much easier than ever to integrate and to embed Cognos into your own applications. We introduced some new REST APIs. This includes assign users to groups and roles, modify capabilities, or upload, change, or customizations to the system, modify data server connections, etc. A lot of these you could do today through the existing SDK, but now with the new REST API, it's much faster and with less coding. There's also a new JavaScript API published for dashboard. You can leverage interactive dashboard widgets in your own custom layouts and styling your own application or website. You can use objects outside of Cognos to interact with Cognos widget, which is showing here in this interactive GIF. You can also automate the process of changing or saving dashboards into the system. And we're introducing a new way. There's just more APIs. And, we're introducing a new way to connect to REST API data server connections now. So you will see this option available among other data source connections that we support in the product. We embedded technology from Progress Data Direct. There is no charge to our customers. It's our partner with Progress. No additional installation or configurations required. You get this out of the box for free. So here you can see what I'm doing is capturing the URL from an API of a website and use that as a data server connection in Cognos. The technology then automatically infers a schema from that JSON response from the web service. It allows you to use whatever you get back as a relational database table. You can use it the same way as any other relational data sources that you connect to today. You can join it with your corporate data. You can create reports and dashboard and manipulate queries any way you want. You can do today. We support many different configuration options as well. For example, we support options to specify if the API response is paginated or not, to handle different forms of authentication. A lot of advanced options are also available that allows you to merge several endpoints together from different sources. Scheduling. We have done a new scheduling UI that allows you to do much more through this new UI. So let me just go ahead and play this video. So you can see that this now scheduling UI goes into almost full screen mode that has more control, more functionalities, more features. You have the option to define and to search. If you can't find what you're looking for, just do a quick search. The emailing options save as report view. We've made sure that all the legacy functionalities are supported in this new UI. So we took the legacy UI completely out of the product because we're confident everything is included now in this new UI. Not only this, after you've done everything, on the right-hand side, we give you a natural language generated summary to tell you what the schedule is, because there's so many steps and properties involved. We give you a nice summary so you can have one high-level glance of what's been done on this. We've also added the capabilities, 6 new capabilities for you to control which user can use email capabilities and to do what, right? Do you want a user to be able to include links in the email or share using email, or completely block the email delivery option for someone instead of having to disable it at a global level? So there's more flexibilities here. A couple other enhancements really quickly. Now we are WCAG 2.1 support. Check that. And performance improvements. We do performance improvements almost every release, but this release there's quite a bit more. So we've streamlined metadata retrieval and query planning process, and that's much faster. We're doing better with reuse dataset, data caching. For our dataset, we're now bypassing RSVP, which is part of report server, go directly to XQE. It's much faster. We have done a lot of improvements for interactive experience for dashboards. So the animations are a lot better. Nothing, no configuration, additional machine power, nothing you need to do, nothing you need to worry about. This all comes in for free with 11.1.7 release. And I know I only had 30 minutes. I went over for 2 more minutes, but I think I did a good job. It's very difficult to capture everything in 30 minutes, and I don't expect everyone here got all the details. This is recorded, that's great, and there are a lot more detailed information available through our community. I published my blog posting, my colleagues from our free management team also published their blog posting as well to the community. I encourage us to continue our conversation on the community. You can scan to join or just Google it. You can post your questions, read our blogs for detailed information, get more resources there. And we do have 30-day free version of Cognos Analytics for you to try. Give it a try if you don't want to have your own configuration. And that ends my presentation for today. Left some time for the extras.
Okay, thank you very much, Rachel. I thought that was, lots of exciting new features. Very much looking forward to diving deeper. So one thing I wanted to do was launch a poll. So we want to in future sessions dive a little deeper into specific features, but we'd like to know from this audience what you'd like us to focus on. So let me launch that poll. This is the result of the poll. So dashboard enhancements, looks like the mobile app and integrations and connectors are tied. Okay, great. So thank you all for participating in the poll. So one question. Can the REST API connector be used in producing data sets?
That is not currently available, but that's a very good question. Because you can do we're actually working on publishing more APIs. That's probably going to come. It's targeted for the first fixed pack of 11.1.7. I know we're not supposed to include features, but they're just things. There's so many features that we couldn't finish. So in 11.1.7 FP1, there will be data module APIs. From there, you could do a lot more, but not currently saved to data set.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Rachel. So one other question. So the AI assistant. So this, I guess, is a bit future looking. AI assistant. What enhancements can we expect to see there in the future?
So for AI assistant, we want to continue to make it smarter to be able to handle more complex questions, and ultimately to answer that why, right? Right now, it could give you an answer based on your data, ask you what has happened, but why it happened, it is a much deeper type of insight analysis, and we want to make sure that our AI assistant can eventually handle that. And that's a bit of a long-term goal, but that's ultimately where we want to head to, and also to support more languages. We're also looking at how can we leverage the Watson Assistant, which does support multiple language. How can we infuse a lot of technologies that's used there into our AI assistant? So a lot of interesting, exciting very AI-specific enhancements are being currently worked on.
Okay, all right. With that, we can conclude the Take 30. Again, very, very thankful that Rachel was able to join us. So thank you, Rachel. Very compelling release. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.